Hi all, today we discuss section 3.7. In this section we will discuss the asymptotic formula for the partial sums of Euler-Quotient function. The asymptotic formula of sums of the Euler-Quotient function includes the sum sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square. But we know that the modulus of mu of n is always less than or equal to 1. Sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square is absolutely convergent, because that sum is dominated by sigma n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n square. So we can get a series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square as a convergent series. So for the time being, we assume its value is 1 by seat of 2. That is nothing but 6 by pi square. So using this sum, we will find the asymptotic formula for the partial sums of Euler-Quotient function. So for that, we need to do a little bit manipulations to get a required sum to find the asymptotic formula for the Euler-Quotient function. So first we can see what is the required sum we needed to find the asymptotic formula for the partial sums of Euler-Quotient function. Sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square. We know that this is dominated by, or this modulus is always less than or equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n square. By p-test we can say that this is convergent, therefore this sum is absolutely convergent, hence it is convergent. So we assume this value is a finite quantity, n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square is a finite quantity, say 1 by 6 by pi square. In fact, we are not going to prove these formulas right now, so just we assume this result. Using this we will find a sum of what we have to use to prove the asymptotic formula, and less than or equal to x mu of n by n square, that is equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mu of n by n square minus sigma n greater than x mu of n by n square. But we know that, or we assumed that this sum is 6 by pi square, so we can replace this by 6 by pi square minus summation n greater than x mu of n divided by n square. But this is equal to 6 by pi square plus O of summation n greater than x 1 by x. That is because we know that this mu of n, mod mu of n is always less than or equal to 1. So we can get this quantity is O of 1 by n square. Then by interchanging this summation and big O notation, we will get O of sigma n greater than x 1 by n square. Here we have to use the asymptotic formula for this. Okay? So then you will get that this is equal to 6 by pi square plus O of 1 by. This is because of the asymptotic formula here. Okay? So this is nothing but O of 1 by x. O of 1 by x is same as O of 1 by x. So we need to use this formula to find the asymptotic formula for the partial sums of Euler-Quotient function, and less than or equal to x mu of n by n square. So just keep in mind that this summation LHS can be replaced by this formula. Now let us see the proof of, or the partial sum of asymptotic formula for the partial sum of Euler-Quotient function. So that is given by the theorem theorem 3.7. The theorem says that for x greater than 1, we have the formula sigma n less than or equal to x, phi of n equal to 3 by pi square times x square plus O of x log x. Okay, from this you can say that the average order phi of n is 3n by pi square. If you neglect this error term and by dividing it by x, you will get the average order as 3x by pi square or 3n by pi square. Okay, this is we need to prove. This is the thing we want to prove. Okay, we start the proof like this. That is nothing but the relation between phi and mu. So this relation phi of n equal to summation d divides n mu of d into n by d. This is the relation between this phi and mu. That is what we have proved in the starting sessions of chapter 2. So by taking the partial sum, this implies sigma n less than or equal to x, phi of n can be written as the summation n less than or equal to x summation d divides n of d and by d, and we already seen that this can be translated to the sum sigma q comma d with qd less than or equal to x mu of d q, because this n by d is a divisor, then corresponding divisor is n by d. N by d can be replaced by this q. Then we have this d times n by d is always less than or equal to n, or that is equal to n. So we need to collect all such n less than or equal to x. So we can translate this sum is equal to summation q comma d qd less than x mu of d times n by d. N by d is the n by d replaced by this q, which is the divisor of itself. Now we can uh, simplify this sum as is equal to summation d less than or equal to x mu of d summation q less than or equal to x by d q. Okay. So here we need to use the asymptotic formula that you have proved in the application of Euler summation formula, that is sigma d less than or equal to x mu of d mu of d. Then we have to use the formula sigma q less than or equal to x by d q, that can be replaced by half of x by d whole square plus of x by d. This is using the d part of that applications of Euler summation formula. So we can distribute the sum, then we will get summation d less than or equal to x mu of d x square divided by 2 times b square plus O of x summation d less than or equal to x 1 by d. Okay, so this is equal to this x square by 2 can be taken out. Then the remaining will be a sigma d less than or equal to x mu of d by d square. That is same as this sum what we have proved earlier, sigma n less than or equal to x mu of n by n square. This can be replaced by this. So when we take this x square by 2 out, the remaining will be like this sum, sigma n less than or equal to x mu of n by n square. So we'll replace that by the formula given in the reference. So this will be x square by 2 times 6 by pi square plus O of 1 by x plus. Here, this sigma d less than or equal to x 1 by d is a function of order 1 by x, sorry, log x. So this x times this can be written as O of x log x. So O of x log x can be written as O of x log x. Okay? So the partial sum for sigma implies summation n less than or equal to x phi of n takes the form 3 by pi square x square plus O of x log x. From this, or consequence of this, will be the average order of phi of n, that is 3 by pi square n. Okay. This we need to prove.